He opines that Sifuna is just a passing glance. Do you believe that?
First of all, I think it's important that I congratulate my brother, Edwin Sifuna. You know, he's my brother from Bungoma County and he's a friend. And there's one thing that every politician looks up to. And I call it the moment where the country calls you and the politics calls you for breakfast. And every politician wishes to have that moment. When you wake up one day and you are the talk of town. There's nothing a politician dreads and loves like being the talk of town. In fact, it is usually so much that politicians would not even mind being the talk of town from whichever side, whether it's courtesy of hate or courtesy of love.
But be the talk of town.
Just for as long as you're the talk of town as a politician, it's quite a milestone.
No bad press.
I must be able to say that on that one he has achieved. He has achieved the situation where he is the talk of town. But there is one problem. Political euphoria does not amount to political support.
Political euphoria does not amount to political support.
Yes.
Okay.
Political euphoria is a situation where there is an excitement that is created out of something that can make a conversation around you. But it would be naive of you to imagine that that is political support. Now, that has befallen several people from our history. Because there was a time when Matiba came back and he landed at JKIA and there was political euphoria. And it made him so full of himself that he thought it was not right for him to join the other opposition leaders. He can actually become president himself. But then moving quickly forward, then you realize the results proved that there was a difference. It was more euphoria than support. Now, there was then a time where my elder Peter Kenneth was again greeted by political euphoria in this country. And he was the talk of, and the conversation around, especially the social media. He was trending on Twitter and all social media platforms across. And it made him feel like, wait a minute, I can actually become president. Now, when he ran, the results were there. And I'm sure if you check, you'll realize he barely even got to 1 million votes. Now, that's what I'm calling political euphoria. There was a pastor called Pastor Pius Mwiru, who was one time the talk. In fact, at some point, I think he was more famous than even the president of the country.
KBC 8 a.m. every Sunday.
Kuna
Nuru
Gizani. He was more famous than the president of the country.
It's true.
Now, that was able to make him imagine that, wait a minute, I can actually take this thing up. I can actually move. I can actually become president. Now, you can be able to see what the results became. If we don't, if I come closer to what you can be able to relate with, you and me were here when David Maraga announced his candidature for president. You were able to see how it was greeted. In fact, people ran and started contributing some money for him to become president. But it didn't go beyond 7.5 million.
And he needs a B.
The euphoria had then died off. So that's what I'm telling you, that political euphoria is good. But what you do with it then matters. Unfortunately, when I look at the history, and unless now Sifuna becomes the first example of another side, I haven't seen political euphoria culminate into political support.